Stop me, West Coast Rap, man, and welcome to my podcast, You Bitch. The thoughts, views, and opinions you hear on this show are just that, my thoughts, my views, my opinions. So if you don't like them, disagree with them, or whatever the case may be, well, there's a simple solution to all that, and that's just stop listening. But if you care to partake in the conversation, sit back, turn it up, and enjoy the show. Yeah, that. Welcome back to another episode of the YeahDat podcast, hosted by yours truly, West Coast Rabbi. He is I. That is me. Thank you again for tuning into another episode. We are back, episode 29. But before we proceed with episode 29, gotta recap episode 28. Episode 28, titled Interruptions, Self-Care, and something else. What the fuck was it called? Sheesh. Let's see. You know, you're a busy man. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm a busy man. So sometimes you can't keep track of everything, but it is what it is. It was titled Interruptions, Self-Care, and Keeping It Real. So, in that episode 28, you know, we just kept it real. We talked about keeping it real, what it is to keep it real. Just keeping it real. Self-explanatory, and self-care is, you know, just taking care of yourself. Keeping it real in that aspect as well of self-care and, you know, taking care of yourself in regards to seeking advice from professionals, mentors, counselors, etc. So if you're interested in and haven't listened to that episode yet, please do so and tune into episode 28 of the YeahDat podcast, available everywhere podcasts are available. Everywhere podcasts are available. So for those returning, thank you. What's up? What up with you? I appreciate you. For those new, first-time listeners, viewers, welcome. You know, I took prior to this episode, so I dropped episode 28, and then I took a week off. You know, I've been going pretty strong with the podcast since the new year, and that was just something I really wanted to do. I really wanted to invest more time into the podcast, which I have been doing. And those of you out there listening, if you follow on social media platforms, on Instagram at YeahDat podcast, on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all that, you can see, I know you've noticed. If you haven't, stop being oblivious, but I know you've noticed that I've been putting in a lot of work, a lot of promo and all that stuff. So I enjoy it. Like yesterday I spent close to 2 hours 2 hours editing the final episode for the YouTube. But you know, while I was taking that week off, but like I said, I took the week off, you know, just gave myself a break. You know, I was really kind of like analyzing and going over like the next moves for the podcast and like what I can do to, you know, increase the quality or whatnot. And I don't know, I just thought about it, and you know, I love the audio version of it and the aspect of it, which I will continue to do. But my priority and my main focus now in regards to the podcast is going to be the video version. So you're hearing it right here. I didn't say it in the video upload because of the content that I uploaded and the date of it. But you, the listeners, here, and you have an advantage of those who watch and don't listen. But the podcast main focus now will be video format, and I'm primarily focusing on the video portion of the podcast. So I'm gonna invest a lot of time into the video versions on YouTube. So if you're listening out there right now, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. West Coast Rob, youtube.com/West Coast Rob. And on the channel, you can find full episodes. You can find all the shorts. Shorts get uploaded weekly, twice a week. Then episodes uploaded every week. But I mean, I don't know. I really want to focus on the YouTube aspect of it because of the possibilities of return being greater than that of just the regular audio platform podcast. But that being said, I am not just dumping and getting rid of the audio version. I love talking that shit. So I'm going to do so. I'm going to continue to do so on the podcast, and I'm going to continue to upload the audio versions for those who just listen, you know what I mean, on their way home or doing cardio or wherever. Audio versions will still be uploaded. I just want you to focus, just to understand that I'm going to primarily I'm going to be putting a lot and investing a lot into the YouTube version. So show your homie the support and go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, comment. I mean, I reply to comments, I react to them, whether negative or positive, whatever the case may be. I do it all. So get on there if you haven't already and subscribe to the homie's channel. Drop a comment, reach out, and I'll reach back out to you. So stay on the lookout for that YouTube shit. I'm really enjoying doing it too. Like I said, I spent a couple hours editing the final video for this episode 29, which is already uploaded on YouTube. So go check it out. It's pretty funny, man. It's one of the I wouldn't even say lost episodes. I recorded the episode back in January when I was laid up, when I had COVID. I was chopping it up with the homie Gonchi, and he was out for COVID or something like that. So, you know, we were just shooting the shit. I mean, nothing too in depth. We cover some topics which are included in the title, like he explains streaming and what it's like when you're starting, Tokusatsu, the art of Japanese art and animation, and we go over a lot of shit. So tune into the video. It's very entertaining. You'll hear it on the audio version, this version you're listening to now, but if you want to see like the reactions, it's funny. Check us out on YouTube. Once again, youtube.com/West Coast Rob. But episode 29, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you as always, and I will catch you on the back end of this episode as we wrap it up. YeahDat. Oh yeah, lights, camera, action. We're rolling. Welcome back to another episode of the YeahDat podcast, hosted by yours truly, West Coast Roberto. And I'm not even going to say homie here's a guest because he's a resident of the fucking podcast. You know what I'm saying? So my brother Gonzalo's back, man. Everybody. Yeah. What's up, brother, man?
What's up, man? So, there we go. Boom. That's much better right there. Okay.
Crowbar.
This morning was a little bit tumultuous. I woke up. So the weather here dropped to about, I think it's like 30 something degrees now. I woke up, sore throat. I was like, ooh. I was like, this is not a good sign.
Yeah.
So, look who came to visit, man.
That's what's up, man. What's that cat's name right there?
This is Ozzy.
Okay. I have a kitten, fool, and I love the fool and I hate the fool at the same time.
So I woke up with a sore throat this morning, and I texted you. I was like, bro, I woke up with a sore throat, and you hit me up, and you're like, that's COVID.
Yeah, dead ass.
I was like, fuck, right?
Yeah.
So the reason I got so upset was because I had come into close contact with COVID, and because of that, my work had me work from home for 10 days.
Okay.
Right?
That's why you were at home.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I was like, fuck, I don't want to do that again. I mean, I wouldn't mind it low key, but like,
yeah,
it's lonely being home all the time. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I feel you.
So your boy got the hookup. I got my rapid tests. And your boy turned out negative.
How many did you take?
Negative. So that's
how many tests did you take?
I just took the one so far.
Okay, good.
Right here.
All right.
It looks like a lollipop, but Um, yeah, that's it.
Right on. I feel you because your boy right here is still on ROM quarantine because
Okay.
yeah, your boy had COVID positive
So when did
two
you test
times.
positive?
Okay, so uh let's go back 2 weeks. Okay, LaCroix, lemon. It's my one of my faves right there. So about 2 weeks ago, so I was like during the week, the homie was tired for like I would come home and be like, yo, I need to lay down. And then on that Friday, 10, 9, 8, on the 7th, Friday the 7th, my daughter, she had a gymnastics meet.
Uh,
So before I came home from work and I was like, yo, I'm exhausted. For some reason, I'm exhausted. I need to take a nap. My wife comes home. She wakes me up. She's like, yo, let's go to this. We got to go to this meet. We got to drive about an hour and some change. I'm like, all right, let's go. So get together, go. At the meet, I'm like, yo, feel my head. Do I feel hot? You know what I mean? And then she's like, you're a little warm. I'm like, okay, all right. I think I'm all right, but I kind of feel maybe it's hot in here. You know what I mean, maybe it's hot in here.
yeah.
Let me take my jacket off. I was kosher for the rest of the night. Saturday came. I don't really remember Saturday. Sunday morning came. Woke up, sore throat. Like,
Ooh.
oh, my throat is bothering me. Day progresses, and it's like I'm feeling booty. Ugh, feeling booty. So, so when I tell my people at work, I was like, "Yo, if you're feeling under the weather, don't come in." So on the on that Monday, I was supposed to do a sailor the quarter board, and I'm like, "Yo,
Okay.
I'm not doing it. I'm not coming in. I'm not writing my package. Sorry." So end up not going in on Monday. Took a rapid test. Boom, positive. Throat was on
Yikes.
fire on Monday. Fool, it was
That's
on
how I feel right
fire.
now.
Yes, so it was on fire. Like I couldn't sleep. Like the so that was Monday. From Monday to probably Thursday. Those days, my throat was just hurt to swallow and everything, man.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, COVID. So then I had to take another test on Wednesday for the Navy so they could put in my record. That was positive too. So just that's why when you said
Man.
that, I was like, oh, be careful, homie. Be careful.
Yeah. So in my field of work, it's constant with people, right? Like
Yeah, of
from the
course.
moment you get there to the moment you leave, it's just one person after another.
Mhm.
And like, I'll keep it real with you. Like, I can understand this stage in COVID, people, especially in a state like where I'm at, people being like, I'm over it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was
So like
there.
people coming to work and, maybe, I mean, maybe my coworkers, but it's mostly the people that we interact with. Those,
Mhm.
they straight up like sent like 6 people home the other day because a customer came in, or like like a prospective, sale, whatever.
Yeah.
And in the middle of talking, that person was like, "Yeah, I have COVID, so like, what do
Wow.
you, right?" And everyone was just like, "Are you fucking serious?" Right?
Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna just like roll that off? Like, you just made a massive crater in our store because of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But, and this is my personal opinion, the way things are being run right now, there's no accountability for that because anywhere else, that bitch would have closed down.
Yeah. Dead
You know what I
ass.
mean? That they would have shut that bitch down to clean,
Yeah.
right? Because you never know who you're coming in contact with. Everyone's got a mask, everyone's hand sanitizer, woody woo. But
Hmm.
like when you really get next to someone who has that shit, or a contained area, blah blah, blah, they take that shit very seriously. They clean it, they
Yeah.
sanitize it, they make people go quarantine.
Hmm.
So our store has like 16 people out with COVID right now,
Like
right?
confirmed cases.
Confirmed, right?
Damn.
Then you have another X amount of people who are out who have been in close contact. I was just one of those people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like I'm over it. So that now every little thing that happens, I'm like, oh shit, COVID, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a migraine yesterday. I was like, I think this is a symptom. Like I don't know what to do, right? Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but I don't know what it was, bro. Like I woke up this morning, or excuse me. So I had 10 days off, right? I was home.
Hmm.
This week was my first day back. Yesterday was
Okay.
my third day back. I was like, tell me why in the 10 days I'm home, I feel great, right?
Hmm.
I'm still working out. I'm still woody woo. I go to work for 3 days, and I'm like, man, my nose is running, my head hurts, my sore throat, like, I
Yeah.
got muscle cramps, like, and it's like it's crazy out there, man.
Well, it is. And do they make you guys wear masks at work? Like, is that
Absolutely.
mandatory?
So
Okay.
they try to battle that really hard. So like first it was everybody wears a mask no matter what, but
Mm.
then I have no idea why they got rid of that. Like we have to wear masks, but everybody else doesn't, right?
Yeah.
And then that sent shit through the roof. So then they were like, okay, now you can only come in if you have a mask and an appointment. Now it's like it's hardcore, and they're like, you can't even come in unless you're accompanied by someone who's working, right?
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But still, people are getting sick. Still, people are like this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy, fool, because like where I work, it's like you need to like buzz yourself in to get on the floor. I work in like a tall like building in downtown. And in order to get into our floor, you have to buzz yourself in. And then there's a sign that says mask required at all times, only 25% capacity. Woo, woo. So we're in there, we have masks on, and me like full mask on all day, every day,
Yep.
sanitize everywhere, everywhere. So then like for me to get it, it was like, what still like what? I
Yeah.
still got it, man. That's crazy, dog. Fucking
Think
crazy.
about it. It's never going to be the situation where you're prepared for it. So like, you wear a mask all day. You're the one who was always sanitizing. But like, what about that 1 second you took to take a sip of water, and then
Yeah,
you rubbed your mouth like this to scratch your face?
yeah,
That
yeah.
was it.
I know that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, because I was talking to one of the supervisors or whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, I need you to write your package for woo woo for this thing on Monday." And I told him I was like, I don't want to write it. I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying, and they're like, "Well, you do such a good job. We're trying to acknowledge you." And I'm like, "All right, all right." So then Sunday, I was like, "Yo." I hit up another soup and I was like, I'm not gonna come. So the soup who I was supposed to give the package to, same thing, feeling under the weather, just
Yeah.
what I mean, all that. And I was like, damn, I wonder if he got it from me or I got it from him or whatever. It's fucking crazy, man.
Who knows at this point? You know what I
I
mean?
know. I
I
know.
think
For
about it too, because like, so I feel like my life is less. There's less traffic in my day to day than for someone like you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I work, 9 hours a day, or I'm at work 9 hours a day, I should say. I'm talking to a million people, but then I go home. I might stop at a grocery store for some food, and then I just go home and I'm by myself. So like, I feel like I don't get too much traffic, but like I feel like you are dealing with way more people. Then you got the fam at home, then you got
yeah,
gymnastics and
yeah,
soccer games, and like
yeah,
you're always out and about. So like there's way more ambiguity
yeah,
in like getting sick on your end. So that's like
for
nerve
real.
wracking.
And wifey works for the district, so she's she's in like a soup, so she goes to certain schools that she's assigned to. So she has like 4 schools, 5 schools that she is assigned to, and then her colleagues each have a school, a set number of schools. So every day she's like going to this school. Like she hit me up today. She
Yeah.
came home early and she was like, "Yeah, I got Someone was like, "Did you get the word?" She's like, "What?" Like, Mrs. Wu was tested positive on Tuesday. She's like, "What? I was with her all day on this
Oh
day." Da,
wow.
da, da, da. So and then I went to this school, and then like, what? It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
it's a rough time, man.
yeah, it's
Also, like I
crazy.
don't know about you, but like when I get sick, I get like sick.
Yeah, me
You
too.
know what I mean? Like I don't get like the sniffles and then I'm fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I get sick once a year and it's like the end of the world for me. Like
yeah,
I'm like there's no greater pain that could ever be felt by anyone than when I'm sick. That's how I feel. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. And like for me, it's like it's not as severe, but then it's like I hardly get sick, but then when I do, like my wife is like, "Oh, you know the sayings when the husband gets sick, it's oh, so it's
It's
like, oh, you're all
true.
pitiful," and it's like,
I
it is,
saw
but then it's like at the same time, it's like I don't want to hear that.
I saw this meme once. It was like it was like, did you know that when women give birth, they feel the sensation of breaking like 30 bones at once, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And it was like that's the pain, that's the level of pain of giving birth. And it was like And to think that that's just half of the pain of a guy who has a tummy ache.
Shout out to all the women out there.
Yeah, big shout out. Big shout out. We're
For
joking.
real. Yes, we are.
Also, when you were texting me, you're like, "Are you sure, man? I don't want to waste your time." I was over here like, like getting my voice all ready and shit.
Full, yeah, because when I like for me, when I had COVID, it was just a sore throat and then like the fatigue. That was it. Like that's the main symptoms that I was dealing with. So I was laid up in the bed. Unfortunately, our house is big enough to where I had the room to myself, and my wife was in the spare room. My daughters
Yeah.
were away or whatever. But like the fatigue and the sore throat were like the main issue. So just if you start feeling fatigued or whatever, and then your sore throat is starting to get worse, then you probably have to test again tomorrow or some shit.
So that's the thing. So I got today and tomorrow off, luckily, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if tomorrow morning I wake up feeling how I did this morning, I'm calling
Yeah,
out for Saturday.
yeah, you got to. Is that
Yeah.
unpaid or is it you get paid for that?
Uh, I don't know. So I got paid when I was at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I'm like, hey, I have these symptoms, but I'm not like testing positive, I believe that there is like a special sick time that I can put in,
Yeah.
or I would just put PTO.
Okay. Right on. Right on.
So,
So yeah. So when you were on the 10 days, I was on my 10 days.
hey,
Yeah, man. So that's why I got a lot of time to see you playing that dope ass fucking video game, man.
bro. So like me and so the dude who got me that game,
Yeah.
him and I played it for the first time that week,
Mm-hmm.
and like we're both obsessed now. And like he just messaged me. He was like, "Man, I've been playing. I found this new lot with a bunch of mansions, and we're gonna go there and loot it. And I'm making the community, and I learned how to be a mechanic, and
That's what's up. That's what's up. What's the name of that game?
it's called Project Zomboid.
And there's like, is that just like a strictly PC game? Like,
It is. I think it is, and I actually just learned that game has been out for like years, like 10 years.
really?
Yeah, and they never stop updating it because they want more and more realism put into it. And
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's been so long. I mean, I'm getting up there in age. I mean, I
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
admit it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
turned
Yeah.
30 this year,
Welcome.
and yeah, right. And lately, I feel like I don't find the same like passion in video games that I used to,
Mm-hmm.
because I
Oh.
start to think like, man, I could be reading, I could be studying, I could be
Yeah.
sleeping, I could be like, you know what I mean, like so many other things. But playing that game, fool, I was like, yo, 6 hours just went by. You know what I mean? Like for real. Every time I streamed that game, it was like at least 6 hours playing it, which is
Yeah.
crazy for me. Also, only capable when I was working from home, because like I could play while working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like that game is so good.
When was the last time you streamed it?
Last week, so
Okay.
Saturday, I think.
Yeah, I haven't got any email updates lately, man.
Yeah, I was gonna stream last night, but I got
Yeah.
home and I was feeling run down. Like I told you, like I was like my
Yeah.
fucking headache, my whatever. Woke up
Yeah.
this morning with a sore throat, so I was like, I'm for
Mm.
sure not gonna have a morning stream.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to hop on tonight if I'm lucky. If
That's what's
not,
up.
it's fine. I'll stream tomorrow. I got tomorrow off too. So
Hell yeah. Fool, that game is dope. Like when I first saw that game, I was like, yo, what is this game? Like it's like a Sims Grand Theft Auto. I was like, this thing is legit. And I told you that first night watching you play, fool, I
yeah,
was enjoying myself. Like oh, like oh, he's calling for help. Go help him. Da, da,
yeah,
da. Like, stop chopping the trees down. Fool, what's going
yeah. You
on,
were you
man?
were telling me how to drive and shit.
That game is dope,
So
though. That game is
for those
dope.
of you who are listening or watching, but that game is like a hyper. It looks like a silly game. It looks very like not that impressive when you see it at first
It's not that
glance.
bad.
But
It's not that bad.
so then, but the deeper you play, it's hyper realistic. So like you have to make sure your guy's hydrated. You have to make sure he's fed. You have to make sure he's not depressed or hungry or tired or wet or you know what I mean, or hot, cold, like whatever you name
Yeah,
it. On top of that, you can like you can watch TV in that game, which is so funny. And depending on what you watch, it'll increase your knowledge in things. So like
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, like and it like you could watch a TV show about a mechanic, and then like you learn how to fix things better, or like you can combine items, you can build, you can destroy, you can XYZ. Like
Yeah,
if you find water in a river, you got to boil it before you drink it, right? Like type
that's
shit.
crazy. Don't you gotta like bathe and stuff? Like you keep your
Yeah, you
hygiene
have to
up and all
wash
that.
yourself because the game is focused around zombies, right? If you get into a fight with a zombie and you're covered in that zombie's blood, like your guy gets depressed, right? Because he's like covered in blood. So you
Yeah,
have to clean yourself. But if you wash yourself with clothes on, then your clothes get wet and then you have to dry that.
fucking crazy.
Yeah, like it's just the most realistic a game I feel like a game could be.
Yeah, that game is legit too, and it's like it's not that bad. He's saying it
Yeah,
looks terrible. It's not that bad. Like it looks like The Sims back in the day, like The
yeah.
Sims, but that's legit, man. That shit is in. It's fun to watch people play. So it's like I watch it, and it's like I want to play so bad.
We were playing the other day and we learned that if you leave the oven on for too long, it'll start a fire.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
I was like, man.
Well, y'all set y'all's house on fire?
No, we it was a house that we so what we were trying to do is we found a barn
Yeah.
and we were trying to see how realistic it was, right?
Uh
So I
huh.
built a campfire on a pile of hay and I was
Okay.
like, I want to see what happens. And the hay caught fire and it burned down one of the walls of the barn. And I was like, "Oh, let's go!" Right? Like, so then, oh, we learned that because so again, when you're killing zombies, if the zombies are on your property, like if you just see a bunch of dead bodies, it makes your character depressed. So you have to like move
Yeah.
them, and you can burn them to get rid of them, like in The
Yeah.
Walking Dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we were burning a bunch of zombies, and the zombie caught the grass on fire. And I
Wow.
was like, yeah. So I was like, oh wait a minute, there's fire in this game. Like,
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah. Besides watching you stream that game when I was laid up, it was just like I still haven't gone back to work. Fucking.
yeah.
If I've been watching nothing but documentaries, fool.
Okay, let me hear it.
Yeah. So full. So I don't know. Have you seen or like on Netflix? You have Netflix. You watch Netflix, right?
I canceled my Netflix like a month ago.
Okay. So on Netflix, there's a series called Explained,
Oh, I
and
know that. I know the image.
yes. So then I was like, all right, let me browse through, and it covers like a vast array of topics from student loans to the female orgasm to the
Yeah.
stock market, tattoos, whatever, whatever. So I watched every single episode, and each documentary is like 18 minutes long, but
Oh,
it's
that's
it's
sick.
yeah, so it's packed full of like info, and then it was like astrology, fucking all kinds of shit, dog. So then there was a couple that kind of like stuck to me, like the female orgasm. That one was crazy because they did a CAT scan. They did a
This one
CAT
was like, man, I
scan.
just learned about that shit 5 minutes ago.
I finally know what I'm doing wrong. So it said when it comes to women and orgasms, 30 it's like 30% uh when a heterosexual woman is having sex with a male, it's like a 30% chance of them orgasm or having an orgasm. But when a woman has sex with a woman, it's 85% every
85
time. Yeah.
every
So it's
time.
like what? So then they're like, why is it? They were talking about why is it every time a male is incorporated in sex with a woman, the the percentage of orgasms go down, and then they were talking about like how um, the comparison between a female orgasm and some other shit. They did a CAT scan, and they're like, this is a female orgasm. The only time the brain can do this is when some other thing, which was like out of this world. I was like, holy shit. So
Damn.
then they
Deep.
say, yeah. So they're like, once a woman has an orgasm, then it's like, boom, they can have multiple. But when a male has an orgasm, there's
That's it,
something in their
baby.
no, exactly. So there's literally legit something like a switch in their brain that shuts them down for like 20 minutes before they can have another one. But it was crazy, man. And they were talking about like astrology and how astrology was or how it came about. Fool, it was dope, dog. That
What do you
explained
think
shit
of
is dope.
astrology? Now that I have you on the topic,
Fool,
like
to
I
me,
find it very interesting.
Me too. Like legit, me too. Because it's like it's not really proven. Like they were saying, it's like it's not really proven, and it's not really pinpointed to an individual. Like you and I can both be Aries, and
Mm.
they put out a horoscope, and it doesn't mean that it's going to
It's
affect
not
or
like cement
impact
in
you.
cement.
Exactly. It's kind of like a broad thing, but it's kind of like somewhat of a placebo effect. And it's which is true because ever since like talking to Paul and you know
Yeah,
how he's like
absolutely.
spiritual and
Shout
stuff.
out.
Yeah. I listen to like a 4 minute 4 minute podcast every morning on horoscopes. It's like your daily horoscope. And for every morning, like clockwork, I get in my truck, I turn it on as I'm driving. It's like, oh, start your day, woo woo. So then a couple of times the lady will be like, she'll say her whatever, and it's like, shit, that sounds
Yeah,
legit. Then like the next day, it's like, damn, what she said yesterday happened, whatever, whatever. So it's kind of crazy. I'm open minded to it, but
absolutely.
it's I don't know. I don't knock it. You know what I mean? I don't knock it at all.
I I believe in it. I not believe is a strong word. I like am very open minded to it, like you said. I'm very
Yeah.
interested. Like I love learning shit like that. Like I like
Mm-hmm.
everything in my life. I like to learn more about. Right.
Of course.
But yesterday at work, they were talking like these girls were like, "Oh, can you believe that Gonzalo is a Cancer?" And this one girl was like, "No, I don't believe that." Blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
then I was just like, "Hey, like on your app, does it tell me like what Cancer like vibes with, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
for like spouses?" And they were like, "Oh, it's you vibe with Woody Woot yada yada." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Cool, can you tell me their name?" Like, like
Where does she live? What's her IG
yeah.
handle?
And I was just like, "Man, I'm gonna a group chat with every fucking Virgo and Pisces I meet, dog."
No,
But
yeah,
yeah,
but I don't know. I'm open minded to it. Like some of it is kind of like because they were talking about how you lined up with your like it's like your sun sign or something like that.
yeah,
So like when you were born, where the sun was, so that's how it correlates to each individual. But if you were to go by that today, it'd be off because the sun and the earth over the years has like
it's like
rotated
measured
a certain
differently.
way. Yeah. So your current sign wouldn't necessarily be correct today. And
Wow.
then like the Chinese one, they have an extra year included in theirs.
Okay,
So yeah, so their belief is
that's interesting.
okay, yeah, so every year, like it's like a yearly thing. So this is
Mm-hmm.
your horoscope for every year. So for the uh for the Chinese sign, in like 2012 or whatever. It was a bad year for horoscopes, and then like 2 years later was the year of the dragon, which was good luck. So the people in China base their childbirths off of good luck years. So people didn't have babies in like 2012 because it was a bad year, but like 2 years later it was the year of the dragon. So people were just fucking and having kids and shit.
That's sick. That's actually
Yeah,
kind of cool.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I
Well,
mean,
these
it's
fools out
full of
here
that.
watching every episode. You're like, damn, that was explained.
Exactly. Shout out to Netflix. Nah, that shit was legit, man. I was watching that. I was watching fucking what else was I watching? I you know those documentaries you watch in fucking bio where they're like, all right, take notes. There's gonna be a quiz after.
Yeah, yeah.
Full back in the day, it's like, man, fuck them. Now I watched one last night about the Pacific Ocean.
Okay.
Amazing, amazing, oh fucking amazing.
Yo, pretty soon you're gonna be like, man, mankind really did struggle with manifest destiny. Like type shit.
Well, really, the gravitational pull kind of rotates this way. So.
Like remember the architect in the Matrix Reloaded?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, ergo concordantly vis-a-vis. Right.
But yeah,
I've
man.
been so I have really bad tinnitus now, right? Like my
Yeah,
hearing.
yeah.
So
Ditto, ditto.
so it's partly because my time on the flight deck, but
Mm-hmm.
also music, touring music afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Just like being completely disrespecting my ears. So a lot of the times I don't listen to music a lot that much anymore. If I
Mm-hmm.
do, I don't listen to it with headphones. But so every day I've been either biking or jogging to work, right? It's
Nice.
3 miles there, 3 miles back.
Yeah.
And so I listen to a lot of talk shows. So I've been like really exploring different, like aside just like from comedy podcasts and things like that. But
Yeah.
I've been really diving deeper into true crime podcasts, which I know is a very cliche. Like everyone loves true crime podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
but the same way you've been watching your shows, I've been like listening to these like courtroom cases from the 1990s,
Yeah.
and I'm like, damn, this is crazy. This exists. This happened in the United States.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I feel like I'm like an ace detective nowadays. I listen to shit.
For,
I'm like, he's the culprit. Like I know right off the rip. I'm like, that's the
yeah.
culprit. Like,
I mean, you would love it here in my house. That's all my wife watches because she has her undergrad was criminal justice, so
okay,
she loved that stuff. Fool, we watch all that shit every day. And now my oldest, like, I'll go in her room like before bed, and she's watching some crime thing on
she's watching
YouTube or
cold case
something.
files.
Yeah, some shit like that. Like, she's like, oh, like, I was walking up the stairs last night, and I heard her like, oh my god, he shot her in the face, and then this. I was like, what in the? It's like, yes, and he got 25 to life for it. I was like, what in the? But yeah, I mean, that's all that's going on in my house, man.
It's
All that's
strange
going
though
on here.
because so I listen to it. I really do enjoy it because
Mm-hmm.
it's I don't know. It's like the most intriguing things are what's real, right? Like I love
Yeah,
fiction, obviously, like right.
of course.
But when you hear about some stuff that happened in the real world, you're like, wow, that's why the news is so kind of like good and bad because like you watch
Yeah,
the news, you're like, oh my fucking god, like that's real, right?
yeah,
But it also I have to be in good headspace because I can't listen to that if I'm like feeling down because it is
right. Of
very
course.
it's heavy energy.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's triggering.
it is very much. And
Yeah.
so the podcast that I was listening to it on the way to work. And I kind of zoned out. Well, I was like zoned out, fucking jogging and shit. But
Mm-hmm.
that podcast plays like actual courtroom audio or like
Mm-hmm.
interrogation audio, 911 calls, things like that.
Yeah,
And I heard some shit that I was like, damn, I gotta switch this. I was like, I can't start my day like this. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's like it is give and take.
Of course. Yeah, yeah. Telling you, we watch all that stuff all the time. We watch shows and they show the actual footage of like courtroom stuff. And like my wife can sit there and watch it all day. So then like I'll come in the room and if I'm sitting down and one just starts, I'll be sitting there and I'm glued. It's
Yeah.
like I like that bitch did it. What the fuck? This is
But
but
I
yeah.
just speaking of Netflix, I think before I canceled it, I watched the documentary on speaking of true crime, it was the husband. This is gonna sound so generic, but it was like the husband who like killed his wife and daughters in
Uh,
like I gotta find his name. It was like a very like it was all over the news, like he like called it in like that they were missing, but it turned out that it was him.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name. I know who you're talking about.
Uh
In Colorado, I think.
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes, yes.
yeah. For
Uh
you would like there's a show on I think it's on Oxygen. It's called Family Massacre.
Yikes.
And yeah, and damn, that show.
Chris Watts was his name.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
And I watched a documentary on that, and I was like, I think also because I write a lot, obviously,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and when I like to write people, I like to write in reality a little bit. So like I
Yeah.
like to make people, especially if I'm writing something crime or whatever, and it's scary to know that that dude was like seems so innocent. Like if you like the whole documentary is just showing you how innocent he is, but then
Yeah.
it's like, but was he? And then it proves how
Yeah.
he wasn't, and it shows all the psychological, like the subconscious psychological evil that a person can display or
Yeah.
enact just
Mm-hmm.
naturally, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Yep.
crazy. That's fascinating to me.
Yeah, me too. Because that another one of the explains was cults, and they were
Bro,
talking
that's
about full. So they were talking. That one was probably one of my favorite ones because they were interviewing people who were in a cult and who got out, and then they were covering like notorious ones like Jim Jones back
yep,
in. Oh man, fool, I
yeah,
didn't even
yeah.
know
For the
about that one.
diplomats,
No, capo status. You know what I'm saying? Fool, when they brought the real Jim Jones up, I was like, why would you name yourself Jim Jones, bro? Like
yeah,
the rapper. But then they were talking about the cult leader Jim Jones, and the Good People cult or whatever it was called, and just how he manipulated the people in LA to
It's
move to
crazy.
fucking Guatemala or wherever it was, and then they all killed themselves. Like that fool, that shit was
So
mind blowing.
two things. So that podcast that I was just telling you about, they did an episode about a guy who started this like health retreat thing,
Mm,
but it ended
yeah,
up being a cult. And
yeah.
like he would convince people to like cleanse their souls in like a sauna, like a okay, what is it called when like the Native Americans used to do like those teepee, like it was like a sauna, but it was like inside of
Oh
a
yeah,
teepee.
yeah, yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I
I know what
mean?
you're talking about.
So
Yep.
they would do that, and bro, like you're only supposed to do that for like a minute, and he had people like cook themselves alive inside of it, like
Damn,
just
man.
out of manipulation, right?
Yeah.
But on a lighter note, I have watched, and this is on my life. I've watched every Scientology documentary that has ever been created. I think
Yeah.
that's the most fascinating cult of all time because it's like it's so in our faces, but nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, because people kind of question the legitimacy of it. I mean, like,
Yep.
it's not real. Like,
Bro, I took a
what are
picture
you?
in
You
front
know
of
what
a Scientology building in LA. I was
I
like this. I'm like,
mean?
I was like, yo, it's like, you know how people post a picture and it's like, I did a thing, right? And it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
them with like a new car. I remember
yeah.
when I posted on my old Instagram and I was like, I did a thing. And I'm like,
I mean, people are like, "What? Are
yeah.
you into Scientology now?" Like,
Bro,
no.
I have listened to every Scientology podcast, documentary. Leah Remini from King of
I was
Queens.
just about to say, have you watched her shit?
Bro, she has a new podcast out because all her documentaries are phenomenal. And she started a
Yeah.
podcast with the guy who was a high ranking member of Scientology, who was the reason
Mhm.
she got like banished or whatever. And then he
Really?
ended up leaving, and now they do a podcast together. And they so you have someone like Leah Remini who the media tries to portray as crazy, right? And
Yeah.
then you have that guy who was like, no, I was a high ranking person in Scientology. Like I'm speculating, but he was like third in command. Let's just say, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was like, I was in charge of doing all the fucked up shit that she's telling y'all about.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's called I think it's called Fair Game with Leah Remini.
Damn. That's crazy.
Bro, do you know what Fair Game is?
Fair game.
Fair Game. It's called Scientology Fair Game. Leah Remini and Mike Rinder. Okay, Scientology has this thing, the cult, right? Where
Yeah.
if anybody uh, from within the organization or outside the organization tries to speak badly of it, it's called fair game. And they send out like Scientology cronies to go intimidate them and threaten them and like by any means erase them as a threat to Scientology. But
Wow.
they start by like blackmailing them on in the media, in like newspapers and like whatever, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. But then they'll like straight up like go like strong arm people. Like it's crazy.
Damn. They send the putty patrol out and shit.
Yeah, for real. Stronger than before.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Hell
I think
nah.
cults are so fascinating because I think it's interesting because you learn about how fragile the human condition is.
Yeah.
Because you think to yourself, okay, ready, I'm about to blow your mind. When you watch a cult documentary and you think, how could somebody be so blind? You're like, man, if that was me, I would be like, this is crazy. I'm out of here, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Then you look at somebody who's in a toxic relationship and you're like, yo, why don't you just break up with that person? And you're
Yeah.
like, dude, like you I can't,
Yeah.
I can't, right? Why?
Yeah.
Why? You would be so much happier. You'd be healthier. Oh, I can't. Bro, times that by 1,000. That's just a cult. A cult is just that same feeling.
Yeah. And they go over that because they're so they talk about like today and like social media and society, how so people were made to interact and
And to
communicate.
follow.
Exactly. So nowadays with social media and electronics, people are more so introverted and secluded.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easier nowadays for someone to start a cult, especially like with like groups, like Facebook groups or chat rooms
Yeah.
or whatever. So then they use examples of one of the shooters, like the mosque shooting in like
Yeah.
New Zealand or something. So they use that as an example, and they brought up a
That's cool, man.
lady.
Answer that, man.
Man, no. So then they brought up they brought up a lady who's like on Facebook, or not Facebook, she's on YouTube and she does YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, this lady is a cult, or is trying to establish a cult. And they show like examples of her clips or whatever, and her saying, oh yeah, my little cronies, or blah blah blah, this and this. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that's crazy, man. The cult one of the Netflix series Explained is good as heck, man. And it's only 18 minutes. That shit is good as hell.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of, this is completely unrelated, but I think it's interesting that the documentaries are only 18 minutes. And I
Yeah.
say that because I recently had a discussion about how the human attention span is so short now that
Yep.
fools need, like, that. That's why TikTok is crazy, because it's like, here's 30 seconds of something. Next one.
Yeah.
30 seconds, next one. 30 seconds, next
Yep.
one.
Yep.
So, like,
Yeah.
18-minute documentary for what's next? Is this going to be a photo?
Just like a kind of like a quick collage, like just kind
Yeah.
of you sit there like, oh,
10
like
seconds.
wow, exactly. Oh, flash of light and shit.
No, you just download the information to your brain, like in the Matrix.
Yeah. Have you seen the fuck? There's a documentary series on Disney Plus, like the Nat Geo side of it or whatever. I forgot what it's fucking called, but the first episode talks about AI. I believe I brought this up before on like past episodes that you've been on or Paul have
Mm.
been on. But it talks about AI and how they're creating a world of artificial intelligence, and pretty soon you're not gonna know who's a human being or who's AI.
Bro,
So
that's the plot to Battlestar Galactica.
full. So in this episode, it starts off. It's like,
Mm.
so it has like a dramatization, and then it has like real life people, facts and stuff. So the dramatization is like it's a family, and they're driving down the road. They get in a car accident, and then the daughter dies. The daughter's like probably 14, 15. Daughter dies. So then they cut to the real scenes, and they cut back to the dramatization. And the dad is in the living room one day, and then the mom walks in, and she's like, look, and it's the daughter, but you can see like the daughter has like green rings in her eyes because she's a clone that they've made. So like the
I don't
dad is
like
kind of
that.
like full. So the dad is taken by it, and he's like, oh, hesitant. Daughter walks up, oh hey dad, blah blah blah, this and this. Mom's all cheerful, whatever. At the end of the episode, they show a real artificial intelligent fucking creation that somebody's made, who's sitting there like, oh hey, how are you doing, this and this, blah, blah. Mind you, they don't look like a real person, but it's to the point to where if you walked up to it, like you walked up to it, that the AI would be like, oh, what's up Gonzalo, how you doing? And then you reply, and then like, oh yeah, well I'm doing fine, it's just just another day, this and this, blah 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 blah.
I do
And it
not
was
like that at
crazy.
all.
Fool, it's crazy. It's on Disney Plus.
There's I read this article once. It was like this college was making two AI machines, right?
Uh-huh.
To test like the whole artificial intelligence. And so the machines were left overnight together to transfer data. And the
Mm-hmm.
machines created their own language and code because it was
Yeah.
transferring the data faster that way. And it
Yeah.
was like they created their own language to communicate with each other to transfer the data. And the university or whatever had to shut it down because it was like these robots are fucking making their own language now. They're like
Wow.
existing without us. You know what I mean?
Fucking Ultron and shit.
I'm all like, bro, we've seen the movies. Like, you don't have to do
Yeah.
this. Like,
Yeah. Crazy, dog.
bro, we all saw Prometheus, bro. He's the whole reason that shit went crazy.
I know. That's fool. I love that movie. That is such a
Me
great
too.
movie, man. Such a great movie.
He's the
But
reason
yeah.
that shit goes haywire, man.
Yep. Such a great movie, dad. Fucking yeah. So that Pacific fucking Ocean documentary I watched last night, it was about like how, so they were talking about like the blue whale, manta rays, how these enormous, like tiger sharks, how these enormous animals live off like plankton and krill and shit like that. So then they showed this, it was a sea anemone, fool. And it was and it's it lives off of like a rock off a beach, off of Big Sur in California. So it's underwater, and like the tide just, you know what I'm saying, crashes against the shore or whatever, and it's like sea anemone eats whatever, but sometimes it thrives and dreams about eating something bigger. So then it's looking out of the water, the view shows out of the water, and there's these black birds, which the black birds, they dive and get shit, come out and feed their kids or whatever.
Mhm.
But sometimes they'll dive, and then the surge will hit the rocks and they'll die. So they show a dead bird in the water, fool. And what happened, the bird touched the anemone, and the anemone grabs it, and it expands so much where it eats the bird, fool. So then there's like three different ones, and once something touches an anemone, it'll grab hold of it. So it shows like this tug of war of how this anemone this size, fool, ate a fucking seagull sized bird underwater because
That's
it can
wild.
expand. Fool, yeah, there's some crazy stuff in this world, man.
The water scares
Crazy
the
stuff,
hell out
bro.
of me, man.
Yeah, me too. Me
So
too.
like I love it though, because like I really do love water. Like I write a lot about water and like the poetry that I write.
Yeah,
But I remember when we had swim call on the boat. I remember
yeah.
I jumped off for like the second my head went under the water. I was like, fuck, 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 get up.
Yeah, I saw a post yesterday. It was the phobia of like deep sea is called like thalassia or phobia or something
Yeah,
like that. The fear of water, and they touched base on that documentary last night. How it's just the ocean is just so deep and so wide that you do not know what's in it. And I
yeah,
told my wife that same thing. We were watching it together, and I was like, I used to be out to sea, and I'll be on the sponsor or on the flight deck and looking down. It's like ain't no telling what's in that shit, man.
yeah. Or like when you're on the gun, we would be on the gun mount, and I remember Coggins was like, "Oh look, there's dolphins right there,"
Yeah,
and I was like, "What?"
always.
I was like,
Yep,
"What?"
always
Like, and
in
he
the
was like,
wakes.
he's like, "Oh yeah, they're playing in the wake." I'm like, "That's crazy
Yep,
that they're just there."
yep. They're
Right?
always in the wakes, man.
Or he would be like, "Oh, look, there's like a big," or the CO would be like, "There's whales." Like,
Yep.
go look
If
at the whales, and
yep.
you're like, "Whoa,
Yeah, man. And then it's like they were showing the blue whale, and I was like, imagine that photographer, like what they're thinking as this motherfucking house fucking swims by,
how full
and
his diaper is."
man, for real, cause, it was they were like, oh yeah, the tiger shark, it feeds on this krill to get bigger in this little pool in Baja California to fight off predators. This tiger shark, the size of a school bus, da, da, da. And I was like, the size of a school bus, bro. And that's a baby one, a size of a
Yeah,
school bus. So
no
it's
thanks.
nuts, man. Yeah, for real. Fuck that, man.
That's my
Lost that
biggest.
sea. I'll just if overboard, man overboard. It's like, oh well, I'm dead. You know.
God, I don't want to think about that. That's like tremendous anxiety for me right there.
I know, for real. I always think about like, oh, if it was man overboard and then like the boat goes over you, like just propellers. So then I see a video clip
Yeah,
yesterday, and it was like a diver, and he was down there looking at coral, and he turns around and it's a ship. So he's just like, as the ship goes over him, and just the propellers, and it's like, oh, that's what it looks like.
that's
Crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, and he's just looking at it like, man, what the hell?
No, what used to scare me is they would be like, if you go overboard, like by the time you come back up the surface, they were like, the ship's gonna be gone,
Oh yeah,
and that
yeah.
scares the fuck out of me. I used to, oh,
Ah, cringe, man, cringe.
and I know those locals didn't have that maintenance on it. You know what I mean?
For real.
For
That's why we be harping it. Before you put it on, do your maintenance. Motherfuckers just throw it on
real.
and get and leave, man.
That flow code hadn't had maintenance since 2007, man. Come on.
Crazy. I mean, it worked sometimes because you were setting it off when you were sweating and shit. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, for real.
saying? Like, why's your flow code going off, man? I know it's hot
Bro,
out here. That's why. That's
I
why.
forget, I forget who it was, but I was helping this girl out like, on a squadron pick something up, and it was like she was like, "Yeah, Woody, we'll go grab that." And I went, "Sure." I turned around and she went. I was like, "Fuck." Oh, good times, man.
Yeah, man, real shit. Real shit. But what else is up with you, man?
Shit, I
It's
graduate
kind of
in
been
April.
rambling. Congratulations.
I graduate with my bachelor's
Yeah.
degree in April, man. Crazy.
Hell yeah. Finished on his way to it.
The journey's finally over.
Until you work on that master's.
Until I get my master's, which I hopefully, fingers crossed, enroll in July.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
I turned 30 in July.
There you go. That's what's up. A lot going on.
Nothing, man. So I started a YouTube channel finally to
Yeah,
try to
I subscribed.
thank you.
Yep.
I just
Full
want
blast
to,
action.
yeah, full blast action on YouTube. I just want to review just the shit that I do anyways. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm already buying this shit anyways. Like, I might as well talk about my thoughts on it, right?
Yeah, dead ass.
And I don't know, man. I'm trying to turn the negative energy from my last year into positive energy this year.
Good.
So I'm eating super clean. I'm working out every day, working hard, studying, you name
Hell
it.
yeah. That's what's
Meditating.
up. Oh.
Yes, sir.
Right on. You got the little bells and shit. Like the ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, I know. I got the bowl.
Yeah, the bowl. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what's up.
What about you, dog? I got a kettlebell. I was gonna be like, yeah, I got a kettlebell, but this shit's like 45 pounds. You know what I mean?
Now, if you were to hold that shit, I'd be like, how much that shit weigh? 45 pounds. Look, like, damn, monster. Nah, shit with me, fucking no, nothing. I mean, lately I've been putting a lot of my energy into the podcast, and it's I don't know, I've been having fun doing so. Uh, Found out I'm on Audible. That's crazy. You know
Ooh,
what I'm saying?
okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So all you audiobook fans out there, you know what I'm saying, go on Audible. You can type in the YeahDat podcast. I'm on there too.
Bro, all
Boys
you gotta
everywhere.
do, I think you just gotta you should do an episode every week, even if it's just you.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I've addressed that with you before. Is like I've I think about doing that too. Well, I've done it in the past, but then it's like, do people want to see that? But then it's like, you know what? I don't give a fuck anymore. I mean, it's me. It's my
Yeah.
shit. I'm
My
gonna do
favorite
what I want to
podcast
do.
doesn't have guests.
Yeah,
The podcast I listen to the most doesn't have any guests.
that's what's up.
So I think about that because,
Yeah,
so I don't know if I'm gonna do the empty orchestra anymore. It's just been
yeah,
too long, and I'm like, I don't know. I got full blast action to work on now. I'm
yeah.
gonna try to do one today, but
What
a
full
video.
blast action video? Okay.
Hmm. And I do want to start I'm okay. So here's my business plan. So
Okay.
I'm reviewing a
You want to
lot
put
of
it
this.
out on it? You want to put it on the air for people to steal?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's what's up.
No. So for full blast action, what the plan is I'm reviewing all these things on video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying like, oh, I have a companion podcast called Full Blast Action, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, where if you, I'll talk about like a live reaction, live reviews. Like I'm watching this during I'm recording, right?
Right.
But the podcast, I haven't uploaded a single episode yet because my
Mm-hmm.
plan is when you say that enough, you generate enough buzz on it. So eventually, when someone's like, "Hey, where is this podcast?" I'm like, "Oh, it's
Yeah.
uploaded."
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. That sounds like a legit plan, brother.
That's me.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. My request for you is that whatever, like if full blast action is your shit, stick with that mug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like I don't know, man. Like the stream has been going. You know, I have fun with that. So I just want to have fun with YouTube because
Yeah.
I feel like if you just like you said, if you just have fun with it, then the rest comes afterwards.
Yeah. Dead ass. Dead ass. Like me, like I've revamped my YouTube channel too. So for those of you out there listening, go to YouTube and type in West Coast Rob, man. And there's like full. I don't know. I've been having fun the past couple of days redoing it. I'm gonna put out some shit, man. Just stay tuned,
Hell
man.
yeah!
I got some dope little content coming out and shit. Like legit, fool. It's legit, man. But podcast, I got some dope guests lined up. I'm telling you, this 2022 collection is gonna be legit, man.
Let's
So
go. I like that.
stay
I like
tuned,
this energy.
motherfuckers. Hell yeah, bro. I'm stoked about it. Um, I got my exam on Monday, but as soon as that's
For cheap.
done, yeah. So when that's done, it's like now I can put more energy towards this. I got
How
to
many
study.
more years you got left?
So I hit 18 on the 26th. So I have two.
Dang.
Yes, son.
Would
Old
you do more than
status.
20 if you hit chief?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Because depends on, I don't know, it depends. Like, I don't want to because, like, fool, I'm tired, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I just want to be a stay-at-home dad and shit and just play around. But I don't know. We'll see.
dude,
But
you
yeah,
got this,
man.
man. Remember I told you if you can just do your work for if you can commit to 4 years. Remember I told you that?
Yeah. And I actually thought about that yesterday, fool, when I was working on like some of the fucking promo shit for the podcast. And I think about that all the time and no bullshit. It's like, man, fucking Gonzalo was like, man, the last fucking couple of years, why don't you just devote your shit to that and then fucking go from there? And it's like, I'm going to, man. I'm telling you, 2022 is gonna be a big year for the motherfucking podcast. You hear me out there listening, for you watching.
You
Stay
bitch.
tuned. I need motherfucking like 12 more fucking subscribers on my YouTube channel so I can have my custom URL so I can be
What
like,
is that?
oh,
Is it
YouTube,
1,000?
it's 100.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they changed it, fool. They changed it. I read up on the terms yesterday, and it's like to have a custom URL is now, it used to be 1,000. Now it's
Yeah,
100. So I'm at
let's
80
go.
fucking 88 subscribers. So I'm like, let's go, man. You got to start from somewhere. I ain't ashamed
Bro,
to say
you're at
88.
88. I'm at 46. Let's go.
Fool, I was at 82 or 78, something like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So I've been on the podcast promo for the past couple of days,
Yes,
and
sir.
now I'm at 88. So
You know what you should do? You should promote on like Reddit and like shit like that.
well, I get on there sometimes and like read up and stuff, and it's like I don't
I
know
don't
how to
fuck with
like
Reddit like
do that
that, but
shit. Yeah, I mean I don't either. I sometimes I'll get on there just to see what's like trending or whatever, I guess. But then it's like it's a crazy little community, man.
I feel like to promo your shit, you need to hit people that aren't viewing your profiles. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh no, yeah, most definitely.
or like
Yeah,
comment on other people's YouTubes, or like comment on a Reddit post, or like share
yeah.
on a Reddit post. Discords is a big one too. Like find other Discords for other people like yourself who are making content. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny that you say that because I actually started doing that about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago.
He's
I
like,
was
I don't
like,
know why I don't have 100 yet, bitch.
for real, I might have 100 now. Why you bullshitting? Fucking, I was going to like other communities, and I
Hey,
was
hey,
going
that's
to
fine, man. That's fine. You can put it in the podcast too, man.
shut up, Siri, be quiet. But nah, yeah, I was commenting on other stuff, and I was dropping my pod on other stuff. So I'm doing
Hell
it, homie.
yeah.
I'm doing it.
Because like an
So we'll see
example, so like
where it
I
goes.
follow these two YouTubers, and this actually made my day the other day, and I've been watching them for a minute, right?
Yeah,
And I commented on their post on one of their videos, and one of them watched one of mine and commented on mine. And was like, "Oh, this is a cool video," and he subbed to me, right?
yeah,
Then another one hit me up on Twitter and was like, "If you have any questions, like let me know, blah blah blah. I'll help you, whatever." I was like,
yeah.
"Damn." I'm
That's
like,
what's up.
all because I just been rocking with them for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah.
That made
That's
me
what's
feel
up.
good.
Good man, good. But yeah, well, my brother, I've had you for almost an hour, man. I'll cut you loose, brother. You know what I'm
Hey
saying?
man, let's do this again tomorrow, man. Whatever.
Yeah, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Fuck it. You know what I mean? We're about to get this old wintry storm up here, so my ladies got out of school early today, and they're not gonna be in school tomorrow.
Yeah,
But you
they
know, I
canceled
have
everything today. They thought it was gonna snow today.
where you are.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
but
That's
nothing
crazy.
happened. But it's cold today. It's just windy.
Okay, yeah, because this time last year, I think
Yep.
it snowed. That's when that big old winter storm hit when I was in Texas, right there.
So fucking, I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. But
Yeah. Oh.
what?
Oh yeah, you were there too. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that, man. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah, man, I'm down. You already know I'm down to do the pod, whatever, man. I'll be sitting here like I'm gonna do a podcast with somebody. Like somebody fucking say, someone say yes. Someone say yes. But
Yeah, I got
fucking
tomorrow off, bro. So if you want to run it back, we'll run it back.
hell yeah, that's what's up. But nah, yeah, I gotta. For those of you out there listening, you know what I'm saying this was more so just like a chill episode with me and my brother. So if
Always.
you're if you aren't entertained, which I doubt that, but just giving you a heads up for the disclaimer, man. But you know, my brother, you know I love you, man.
Love you too, dog.
I hope you're just fucking you just have a sore throat and that's it. what I'm saying?
I mean, I wouldn't mind another 10 days at home paid. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I feel you because you know what I'm saying. I got to grow my beard out and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, I wouldn't mind just having COVID take me out, man. Less bills. You know what I mean?
Oh. Watch your mouth there. The mouth on use. The mouth on use.
This fool said, "Oh."
Oh.
Right there, and that's
Hell
what like would have
no.
been like, "Wah," like the hook would have pulled me out. Like,
slide whistle.
I love you, dog. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for everybody.
Anytime, man.
This episode.
Hell yeah! Like you're not a guest, man. You know what I'm saying I got resident motherfucking co-hosts on there. You're one of them. You know what I'm saying
that's me.
Straight up crowbar, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I wish I'm gonna have to talk to you about fucking streaming because if I want to do that shit, man. But
trying to stream.
For that shit. So before we go, I know I said I was gonna let you go. So I've been doing podcast research and shit. So on the platform that you stream on, you know, I type in fucking let's chat or fucking podcast or whatever the fuck, and then you know I see like the channels and shit that pop up, and it's like some of them are like playing a game as they chop it up, and some of them are just like chopping it up, and it's just like, should I do that? Like, should I? Like on the platform I use, I can live stream like this podcast. I could live stream this right to YouTube right now if I wanted to, but I turned it off. Yeah, I turned it off right before. I was gonna turn it on, but then I was like, nah, because I want to edit it and shit like that. Yeah. But yeah, I can do that on YouTube and like on Twitch and other shit like that. But I don't know. Some of the shit I watch on there is kind of like, this is lame. But then some of it is like, oh, that's smart. Like, what's up with all the chicks in like pools talking? Like, what the fuck is that shit, yo?
Whatever works, man.
No, which is dead ass.
Here's the thing that I'll say though is like something that I tried explaining to old boy that you sent my way, right?
Yeah.
I was like, when you stream, it doesn't matter. Okay, here's an example. I think you're the man, Rob, right?
Yeah. I appreciate that, brother.
Like you're gonna, if you start streaming, you're gonna eat shit for a while. You know what I mean? Like nobody showing up.
Mm-hmm.
That's period. That's it. There is no way around that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There is no way that you're gonna start on day one and have that shit pop off.
Of course.
It's impossible.
Realistic.
Unless you were a celebrity, right?
Yeah.
So if you want, if you want to do it, just do it, right? Do it the same way you do this for fun, though.
Yeah.
Because like I can't tell you how many times people come at me and they're like, "Oh man, like you seem like you have so much fun, like you're doing so well. Like tell me the tricks." I'm like, "Bro, I ate shit. When I first started streaming, I was working from home and I would stream for like 8 hours a day, bro, to nobody, to zero. And even now, like I'll even get like 12, maybe like 8 to 12 people, and to me that's fucking great, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
But it's like. It's a lot of like self promo, but it's also less promo, more like networking and making friends and like spending as much time in other people's streams as I do on my own.
Yeah, building that camaraderie and all that.
Yeah, so it's like it's a lot of shit eating. Like it's a lot
That's
of
what's
like
up.
being alone, which is why like kind of like a job. I remember, so I just had an interview for a promotion, right?
Yeah,
and they were telling me that they were like, we want to hire someone who's passionate about this work, not just because it's a promotion or not just because you're chasing a bag or chasing a blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I apply that to a lot of things because it's like I stream because I want to have fun and talk to my friends and bullshit and like play a game and whatever. It's like if I was streaming just to make money, bro, I would have quit on week 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. Fool, hold up. Hold that thought, all right? I got to piss. I'm old. All right, I'm back. My bad.
Hey, man, that fool had to go into the Grubhub driver, man.
That was my DoorDash. You know what I'm saying? No, my bad, bro.
It's all good.
Damn, I had to pee like a motherfucker. Goddamn. I be drinking like water during podcasts because I want to sound all fucking, what's it called? Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But then it's like, damn, I gotta urinate so bad. But now, as you were saying, you had the interview, and you said you would, if you were doing this for the money, you would quit a long time ago, a week two.
I apply that to a lot of things. It's like, if you want to do something, you want to do it because you want to do it, not for any other ulterior motive, right?
Yeah, deadass. Yeah, because the dude I sent to you, I know he was going through some stuff. I don't know how much he's told you or whatever, but he's like trying to bank and thrive off of the streaming thing, and it's like, all right, man, you're entering a niche that's pretty heavy. Exactly, and
it's almost the same as like, okay, this might be a bad metaphor, so forgive me, but like, say you had $100, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, and you want to go to the casino.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I'm gonna put this all on black, and I'm gonna get rich.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna put this on 00, right? And I'm gonna get rich, and I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't happen, you're like, fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gambling.
But if you go to the casino, you're like, all right, I'm gonna play this dollar machine until maybe I get a profit. Oh shit! Now I can play this $5 machine. Oh, okay. Now I can play this $10 machine. Okay. Yeah. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, that's an analogy right there.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, the boy is a poet. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Well, I said that at work the other day. I forget what it was. I said something to someone, and she was like, "Damn, that was deep." I was like, "Yo, the kid can write." You know what I mean?
The kid is published over here. Come on. But shoot, plug the Full Blast Action, man. The FBA.
Full Blast Action on YouTube, twitch.tv/ShinGonzilla, Twitter @ShinGonzilla.
Yeah.
I'm Instagram @Full Blast Action. I haven't really posted on there a lot just because I need to make more videos before I post a lot on there.
Yeah.
And also, if you're into words and poetry and writing, gfmcreative.com.
There you go. Full Blast Action. What can they find on Full Blast Action?
They can find a lot of good stuff. Yeah. They can find a lot of goodies on that website. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Full Blast Action, I spend a lot of my time, actually not a lot of my time, it's an exaggeration, but I like to collect and watch a lot of Japanese media, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I know you're well aware of this, but like the Power Rangers, right? Mm-hmm. All that footage came from Japan, the show Super Sentai, right?
Mm-hmm.
That style of media, like Godzilla, like the miniatures and the monsters, heavy special effects. That's a media called Tokusatsu, right? So it's the genre, right?
Okay.
And I like watching a lot of Tokusatsu shows. So like Super Sentai, which is Power Rangers. I got some right here. Hold on. This is a sneak peek at the next YouTube video.
Bam.
Ultraman.
Which is Superhuman Samurai.
No. That's Gridman. That's close.
Really?
Close. Yeah.
Okay.
Ultraman is like pretty much. I'll break it down for you. Right. It started off as Ultra Q.
Knowledge.
Right.
Yeah, the knowledge. Look at that. Come on.
Ultra Q
exclusive.
Was pretty much like Japanese Twilight Zone.
Okay.
Right. Easy. Right.
Yeah.
The second season of that, it's like a story of an alien that comes to Earth to save Earth, but he gives the power to this guy, and whenever monsters threaten Earth, he can like activate this crystal and turn into this giant, like huge, like Godzilla-sized fighter named Ultraman, right?
Oh shit! Okay.
And then Ultraman fights monsters. So then, that's one of them. Kamen Rider, which is, remember Masked Rider?
Yeah. So
Kamen Rider is the Japanese version. It's like, and it's been going on since the 60s, so there's like so many different versions of. I made a video of it, my first YouTube video on Full Blast Action.
Yeah, I seen it.
B Fighter, which is in America was the big bad Beetleborgs.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. All that shit I like, and especially Godzilla, Gamera, any kind of Japanese monster movies like that. So the whole YouTube channel is the beginning of my collection of those things, and also discussing that for people who might not be hip to it.
That's what's up.
And it's also kind of like a conversational piece to the people who are hip to it.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
And you heard it here first on the YeahDat fucking podcast, you bitches, you.
You. Time out, hold on. You bitch.
And on that note, we're going to end it right here. And there you have it, folks. Episode 29 with my bro, Gonzalo. I hope you enjoyed that. It's always a good time sitting down talking with one of the homies, having the homies on, my resident guests. Like I said in the beginning, I got guests and I got my resident guests who are recurring. So it's always a good time just sitting there catching up, just chopping it up. But we talked about a bunch of shit. Like I said, that episode was recorded a few months back now. Shit, it's almost April. We re-recorded that in January. And I was just kind of flying through and I was like, oh shit, let me drop this. So that was the episode. So a lot of the stuff, I mentioned some stuff in the episode that were out there to like the followers in order for me to get my URL. I'm well past the number. Thanks to everyone out there listening for subscribing to the channel, to the YouTube channel, and helping me hit that milestone and getting that URL. My custom URL. It takes baby steps right now. I'm close to 500 followers, so the channel's growing. And like I said in the intro, I'm really gonna focus on the visual aspect of the episode. So primarily, it's gonna be a video podcast, and with the audio to go with it. Video will include some things that the audio won't, and audio will include some things that the video won't, like the intro, outro. That won't be on the video aspect of it unless I decide to put it on, which most likely I will. I don't know. We'll see. I know in past episodes you've heard me say before, like, you got to try stuff, you got to find what works, and when it works, then that's what you go with. And that's what we're doing right now. We're all growing. The show is growing, and for those of you who are out there listening every week and watching every week, you're growing with me, and I truly appreciate you. And as I continue to grow, I will continue to bring you with me. So I got nothing but love for everyone out there who really fucks with the show, really fucks with me. Like I said, I'm truly appreciative of it. I'm your homies. So if you need anything, hit me up. YeahDat. But that being said, episode 29, that is a wrap. I had to redo the outro because I was recapping episode 28, and then I caught myself midway through that recap, so I had to do the recap again. Just a lot going on. I got a lot going on in my world right now, but it is what it is. Stay tuned next week for episode 30, which is going to be a doozy. I think you're going to enjoy that one. I had a blast recording episode 30, and we're hitting milestones as we go. 30 episodes in next week. It's a big episode, or a big week. Actually, I might drop this episode in a few days. So stick around, because that week off I took, it was cool, but then I feel like I'm just behind and my routine was kind of thrown off. So yeah, stay tuned. Drop 2 new episodes in the week. So look forward to that. But like I said, we hit a milestone, 30 episodes deep. Maybe on episode 50 we'll do a live one or something. We'll see. But like I said, always, please rate it, like it, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram at YeahDat Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at WestCoast_Rob. I'm on TikTok, same thing, WestCoast_Rob. YouTube Shorts, check out the videos. I'm on there. If there's any new platform that y'all are on that you think I should drop the podcast on, let me know. Slide in the messages, I don't do Snapchat, man. I ain't down with that shit. I don't fuck with Snapchat, but whatever other successful ones, just let me know. Or not successful, but more networking, professional ones. Snapchat to me is like a creepy one, like, oh, let's creep type, lightweight OnlyFans type joint. But whatever, do y'all's thing. But like I said, thank you for listening. On that note, I'll end it right here. That was episode 29 of the YeahDat Podcast, featuring my brother Conchi. Thank you for listening. Shout out to Conchi. Thank you for appearing, or being on the episode, my man. I know you're always down. Whenever you need me, just hit me up. I got you. For the listeners and the viewers out there, or for the listeners out there, thank you for tuning in. As always, it's the homie West Coast Rob signing out. Episode 29 of YeahDat Podcast. Until the next episode, YeahDat.